All right. Hey, everybody.
Hi. Yay. Thank you, dog. It's Friday.
Happy TDIF, everyone. So let me introduce us. I am Hillary Bugles, and I'm here with the amazing and wonderful Patty Quinn and her adorable little sous chef, Ginger.
Ginger wants to be a big part. She wants to be the central part in today's little activity.
So in case you're new around here, we are the co-founders of We Heart Hounds, and we love getting together every Friday to do just something fun in honor
of all our dogs who want to be in the show today.
That would be Lulu that you're hearing. That's my Basset. So we love to get together on Fridays and just do something in honor of our love of pups. And so it could be crafts or recipes. Today we happen to be doing a recipe, and the one that we're doing is a peanut butter banana training tidbits. So I can get that right. Tongue twister, right?
Yeah. Oh, hi, Melissa. It's great to see you today. Oh, happy gotcha day to Lucky. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh, what a milestone. That's great.
So, we're going to, the inspiration for this recipe was actually on another site called sitstaylove.co. And we've actually got that recipe linked in the description. So if you want to go check that one out as well. But the recipe honestly could not be any easier. So 3 ingredients. This one's, I know we say this often, but we really do strive to try to find the easiest thing possible.
And bulletproof, right?
Yep. So first ingredient, a banana.
All right. And I'm going to halve the recipe today. So I'm only going to do half. And I've already got half of my banana in here, and I'm going to just continue to mush it up. I made half the recipe this morning to give it a try. And this is why I have an extra attentive helper, because she knows how good these are, don't you? Yeah, you do. You know how delicious these are.
So I'm just chopping my banana into chunks, and then I'm going to use a little masher, but you could use a fork or whatever to just mush the banana.
Yeah. I've just got a fork, and it's doing a good job. A little banana puree going on here. Oh, that smells so good. Yes. Yes, it does.
So I just have that kind of mushed up there.
Looks good.
And then a half a cup of peanut butter. And the thing that you want to be careful about the peanut butter is just make sure that it doesn't have any artificial sweeteners. Specifically, xylitol is harmful for dogs. So that's just read those labels and make sure that it doesn't contain any of that.
I think this is one of the world's favorite ingredients of all dogs all across the planet.
That smell, like you can't mistake it, and they really can't mistake it.
Oh my gosh. She's loving this.
So,
all right. And again, I'm just using a quarter cup because I'm halving the recipe.
And then you're just going to incorporate your kind of banana and peanut butter mixture into a little bit of a slurry.
So I never had peanut butter banana sandwiches as a kid, but that's pretty much exactly what this turns out to be, which is really kind of fun.
Yeah, I was never as a kid, and never a huge banana. The texture was something that I was not all that crazy about, so we didn't have a ton of bananas for me. The regular old peanut butter and jelly, that was on the docket for sure.
Well, I love bananas. I'd have them on my cereal and stuff, but I never had them in a peanut butter sandwich. But that's exactly what this combo is going to turn out to be, which is kind of neat. Here we go.
There's our banana peanut butter mixture, and then just 1 cup of flour. And you can use whatever kind of flour you know is going to work well for your dog. So I have regular flour, but you could use wheat flour, coconut flour, whatever you know is going to work well. So substitutions are totally okay. And I kind of added in sections so that just in case, because depending on your peanut butter or your banana, like how big your banana is, stuff like that. So you may want to add a little bit more flour or a little less, or you may need to add a little bit of water if things feel like they're getting kind of dry. So
I've got a 1/2 cup for my half recipe. This is probably the world's easiest recipe to half.
Yep.
Half a banana, 1/2 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of peanut butter for the half recipe.
And it does make, the whole recipe is a pretty big recipe. So if you have smaller dogs, especially like we have 2, we have Lulu and Leon. So we'll probably get through quite a few of the treats, but even just one recipe of this is quite a few treats. So.
Mm-hmm. And especially if you're making the training treat size, which is a smaller tidbit size, you know, tinier size for training. And we actually just try to use that kind of a size treat for Ginger anyway, because she's so small.
Yeah.
That way she can get a couple of them a day, you know, more than one or 2. All right.
And once you start getting down to the last of your flour, that's when you'll kind of decide, okay, do I need a little bit more water? Is that enough flour? And you might need to start incorporating it with your hands if it starts, if it starts getting kind of tough to stir.
That's what I'm going to do, just to make it easier, quicker.
So, if you don't like banana or don't have bananas, you would just need something, you'd kind of need to experiment a little bit, but maybe like applesauce might be a good substitution that you could put in this, or, you know, something like that. So you need something that has some moisture in it, but you certainly can substitute other ingredients.
Yeah, this is working well. I'm going to add just a tad more flour.
And that the nice thing about this dough that you've created is that peanut butter has plenty of oil in it, so it makes it pretty easy to work with. So.
It really does, and it's a nice feeling dough, you know.
Yeah.
It's real smooth and easy to work with, as you said, but really nice.
So that's kind of the consistency that you get there.
Yeah.
And then you can, Patty and I are going to do 2 different techniques here, but either one works perfectly well. So you can roll it out and use a little cookie cutter. And Patty will show you her tiny little cookie cutter that she's going to be using.
Here, I'll show you. I just got a lid off of a little bottle and cleaned it off really well. And that's going to be my cookie cutter. I just wanted the world's tiniest little treats.
I love that.
Little training treats. So they need to be tiny. So you can give more than one when you're training a pup.
And I'm just going to pick little pieces off and roll them into balls. And so rather than roll it out.
So I'm just adding a little flour to the surface and then to the top so it doesn't stick. And this is just the easiest dough to roll out. And if you're going to roll it out, you just want to get it to about 1/4 of an inch thick.
And I'm just rolling them into little balls. You can make them smaller or bigger as necessary. Try to make them kind of a consistent size that'll make him cook evenly. So that's the reasoning behind that.
And I'm just using a glass. I have a rolling pin, but this is smaller and easier to work with. So, and then I take my little cap.
Oh, Melissa, we love having you whenever you can join us. So no worries. Thanks for popping on.
Oh yeah, you bet. Have a fun party with Lucky today.
Yeah.
Make these treats for Lucky. That'd be a nice little party treat. So I just tap it a couple times and they come right out of the little cap. So they're
adorable.
They're so tight. My hands are all covered in flour, but
I see.
yes. She's like, I'm paying close attention.
Hi, Rita. So the ingredients are just a banana, a half a cup of peanut butter, and 1 cup of flour. So really simple, and you can have this recipe super easily. So, you know, if you have smaller pups, and they do it makes quite a big batch of treats. So it's super easy. And the original recipe is linked in the description as well.
So you can see I've got quite a bit of little training treats coming out of here. I made half the recipe, so. And then once you, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to show, this is the size of the dough ball that you get from the whole recipe. So yeah. I've just done a few of these so far.
And I was just going to say, once you've got your shapes cut out, you can take the dough that's surrounding all those shapes, reform it, roll it back out, and continue to get treats until there's no dough left. So you end up with quite a few.
Yeah. Especially since, you know, we're making them little.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can make a bigger size. You can make them, you know, if you've got larger dogs or you don't want to make the training size treats, you can definitely make these bigger.
Yeah. And they do bake up really nice. You don't have to worry too much about like how closely you're putting them next to each other. They don't really spread when you're baking them. So
they poof up.
Yep.
They don't poof out.
And I would recommend if you're doing like the rolling them out method, or like just kind of rolling them into balls like I'm doing, whichever way you're going to do it, kind of do the whole batch or cook the whole batch that way, because they will be like, these balls might take a little bit longer than the versions that Patty's doing that are a little bit thinner.
Yeah. And even if these were larger circles or bone shapes or whatever, they're still thinner than like a little ball that's being rolled out. So it's just easier to cook things that are consistent in shape and size.
So yeah, we just keep on working through this batter, and you know, pop them on a baking sheet, 350 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes, I would say, depending on the size of your treats. How long did yours take, Patty?
8 minutes. Okay. These are really tiny, and you know, again, they're fairly thin. So I just kept an eye. You know, I was looking at the 10-minute mark, but I pulled them out a couple minutes early, and they were perfect. So if you want them to be crunchy, I think one of the things you can do is turn the oven off and let it cool with them in there, and they'll harden without overcooking. So if you want a crunchy treat, I kind of like ours a little bit on the soft side.
Yeah, that's kind of why I like these little ball versions of them, because they're kind of still soft in the middle. So that makes a nice consistency. And Rita, you can use either wheat or white, or if you know your dog has different flour needs, you can substitute the type of flour that would work best for your pup. So yeah, I have some finished versions over here.
And I use regular white flour for ours.
Yeah, and that is actually what I used in these ones as well.
Oh, look at all those little hearts and bone shapes. Those are so cute. Oh, here's They're my little.
Those are so
How many there are? This is just a little salad plate. Look how many are on here. There's like 10 million little tiny treats.
And that's a half.
This is half the batch. Yes, half a batch. And this isn't even the whole thing. Ginger has eaten like a dozen of these already. So yeah, and I've got a little bowl of some extra ones in here for when we were going live. So here you go, girly. So yeah, these make the most adorable, tiny little training treats. And what's nice about training size treats, the reason why they're smaller is because if you're working with your dog and bonding with them over, different commands, sit, stay, come, what have you, you can feel good about rewarding your dog consistently and frequently while you're training. And so that's why the training size treats are so tiny. But again, our pup is very tiny. So we tend to get those anyway, even when she's not training. Here, let everybody see you. She's a little nervous. Here you go. You're such a good girl. This is great.
So if you guys are looking for other recipes or ideas, we have a huge playlist full of TDIF ideas that you can check back on. Lots of recipes, lots of crafts, all kinds of things in there. Yep. And if you end up making these treats, we would love to see how they turn out. So please, please, please share them with us. Tag it TDIF so it's easy to find. And yeah.
That's it for today. We've got another fun goodie coming next Friday, 1:00 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much. Really, truly, each and every one of you means so much to us. We're so happy to have you here with us today. And if you're watching on the replay, you can tag replay and let us know. We'll be sure to comment and say hi. We appreciate all you do for us, and we're going to continue to do more for you as much as we can. So thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Everyone. Hope this inspired you to make some goodies for your pups. Take care.